I didn't expect to get so emotional, but then again, I always do. But when they leave, it's like a lot of those traditions and things and moments kind of go with them. Here we are at the end of the day on Wednesday, and I'm really proud of myself. I got some work done that isn't due until early January, but I was like, you know what, Amanda? Just do it now. Even though I do want to chill out and like slow down because it's been a really wonderful and busy work season. It's also kind of nice to actually take a proper break over the holidays, right? So one thing I want to do right now is that this video is going up on Thursday before Christmas. I thought I would share just a couple things that I didn't talk about in my recent gift guide, which if you missed it, you can click the I, one of those spots, and go check it out. But I'll show you a couple things that, I don't know, I just kind of splurged on myself before Christmas, and I know you're not supposed to do that, but I had a very nice year and I just felt like I wanted a couple of treats. I'm trying to figure out the best way to show you this. So this is basically an advent calendar from the brand Luxie 10. So it's really cute. It was definitely a splurge item, but you can see it's got the numbers on the boxes and then it opens up and has more numbers on the boxes. And I do really like their products. They feel like luxury. They also remind me of travel because whenever I go to the duty free, they always have a Luxie 10 counter and I always put the hand cream on. And I like that subtle fragrance that's not overpowering. I didn't even tell my family that I bought this for myself until like yesterday. I was like, it's my own little treasure. A little shout out to this company. So Omi Lab, Omi, oh my, don't know. Oh my. But they sent me some products a little while ago, and then they just sent me like an updated version. And that happens from time to time. You know, it's not a partnership that's paid for. They're just like, hey, you might like these products. What they do is they make this personalized skincare. Like, I'm pretty sure it says Amanda. Oh yeah, it does. It says Omi Amanda. I feel really bad that I think I'm saying it wrong. Anyway, this smells really good. So this is a serum. I also have a day cream and a night cream. All of them are personalized with certain ingredients that are in it that I think work best with my skin. But if you go onto their website, I'm pretty sure you take a quiz and then you figure out what is in the skincare you want. And also like this little travel kit, which is actually really cute. Oh, that smells nice. In terms of PR gifts, Lush often will send me a little gift item around the holidays. This one has a Groovy Fairy bath bomb, Snow Fairy bubble, either bar or just a bubble, and some lotion, and then something else. I can't remember what that, I don't know what that stands for. But anyway, it's really cute. It's like a nice little gift set. And I gotta say, so, you know, growing up, I really treasured things. Like if you gave me something special, and it was special, I wasn't gonna use it. Like, or I would use it, but I would use it sparingly. And then the other day, I heard this thing, and I think it has changed my life. It was said, it was a meme or something on Instagram, but it said, devour the good stuff. And that is in my brain. And now I think of that every time I put on my hand lotion, every time I use my skincare. I'm like, you know what? Yeah, do you know how many times I've used products and had to throw them away because I didn't finish them? I used them so sparingly that they expired. That's unacceptable. That is a bit scarcity mindset. Now, I'm not saying go out and use all your products like excessively, but like use them. I also have to show you this scent combo that I got. I was watching Instagram, Jaclyn Hill popped up. If you don't know who Jaclyn Hill is, she's like an OG beauty creator from back in the day. Anyway, she recommended these products. You may have already seen this if you're like me and like on the internet a lot. I love fragrance, not afraid of fragrance. And this, I don't know, when she said what it was, I was like, I need it. These are the types of fragrances I enjoy. The first one, it says Fenty on it. I just want to get the name right. It's called Butta Drop, B-U-T-T-A, and it is Shimmering Whipped Oil Body Cream. And the fragrance, it's like warm cinnamon cookie. I smell gingerbread cookies. It smells so freaking good. Now, I don't want to shame Bath & Body Works because my daughter loves it, but it's not like that, okay? So when you put on this lotion, there's a subtle warmth. Somehow it makes my mouth water. If you wear this, I think I'm going to be in love with you. That's how I feel about it. So I'm in love with me because I smell like this. So you take this and you put it on your neck and you put it on your arms, and then you take this fragrance, which is by Kilian, and it's called I Don't Need a Prince by My Side to Be a Princess. It's very dramatic, but this fragrance has notes of, I believe, green tea, bergamot, and something else. It's nice. It's a little stronger. Like if I'm gonna say pick one, I would pick the lotion, but I do love green tea. I have this fragrance. This is Bulgari, and this is thé vert, like it's green tea, but it's a little bit warmer. It's a little bit sweeter. This one, it's got a little bite to it. It could be the bergamot. Anyway, this combo is delightful, and it's been like I don't know, this I bought for myself, by the way. This was just like between the advent calendar and this, I was like, Amanda, luxury and devour the good stuff. Okay. And last but not least, I'm gonna take you on one final adventure. I love chilling out and doing puzzles and relaxing over the holidays. And I realized that one of the reasons I don't do enough puzzles is because I have nowhere to put it. And so I treated myself to a puzzle table. And let me show it to you. It's not like the best quality. I'll link the one I got, and then, you know, you make your own judgment. It's pretty good though. At first, I thought I wanted it to have drawers, and now I'm not mad about it. But if you're in the market for a puzzle table, you might want the tabletop where the legs flip out, turns into a little table, but then also has the drawers to store your pieces. So here's my table. Here is the table. So what I like about it is that these legs flip in, and then this goes flat on top of a bigger table. So if you were like on your kitchen table or something, it has this little plastic cover so that you can cover your work. Now I want to tell you about this puzzle, because if you're looking at this puzzle that I'm working on, you may be like, girl, how in the world did you manage to get this whole puzzle done in this way? Well, this particular puzzle, this brand, La Vie Vert Puzzle, I just love how Christmassy this is. Anyway, okay. I had never done a puzzle like this, but on the back of the pieces, you'll see that there's letters, like, my dog won't stop barking, but basically it has all these letters on the bottom, and so you group them. So if you're like me and don't have too much time, but you really want to enjoy your puzzle, whoops, you would take all the pieces for the D section, you'd go through your box, find all the Ds, put them on the table, and then make it work. My daughter just advised me that I could have selected any letter, and you know what? She's not wrong. I don't know why that one popped out at me first, but it did. Anyway, so I'm really enjoying that because it lets you do the puzzle without, I don't know, like I'm not the best person who does puzzles. I'm not the best puzzle person. I don't know how to use the word puzzle in a sentence is what I've learned over the last 2 days. I've been talking about it on Instagram, and it's a tricky word to talk about. Anyway, but I enjoy doing it. So it gives me that satisfaction of doing a puzzle without the stress of doing a puzzle. And I love it. I will link that below for sure on Amazon. So that was it. Those are my purchases. I was just working in here. Tripod, light, things you'll see in January. Yeah, so that's, Jesus. I'll chat with you while I put this away. But yeah, otherwise, you know, like the little life update is that, you know, my little family is doing pretty good. I've been talking a lot about grief on my socials because that is the way that life goes sometimes. And when you lose a loved one close to the holidays, you feel some things, you know? And so we're going through that, and simultaneously life continues to go and move forward. And we have wonderful happy days and days that are harder. Come on, go, be gone. Go on, you're begging to go out. If you haven't really been taking good care of yourself and you're really like tipping into burnout, please do yourself a favor. Just slow down. Take up a puzzle. Take up a book. Like, it's okay to slow down. And it's also okay if you don't do everything or get to everything you planned this holiday. Sometimes we have to be realistic with our expectations, and that you may feel like you're letting everybody down because you didn't bake the cookies, or I don't know, like you didn't, I can't think of all the things because honestly, I'm really trying to be easy with myself. But if you didn't get to all those things and you're feeling a little bit let down, I think it's okay to be like, well, I'm going to mourn the loss of that activity, or I'm going to, you know, that, but we'll maybe take it up next year, or maybe I'll ask for help and somebody can help me make those cookies and they'll still be special. And But you have to be in good health, right? If you are in a good health up here and physically, you're going to be better for yourself and better for your family. So that's like your big sister, best friend, pep talk, because sometimes I need that. And I did give this little pep talk to myself a few weeks ago, and I stuck to it. I implemented boundaries. I knew when to say no. Like, no is a full sentence. When I committed to things, it was like I can commit and then my commitment stops here because I can't handle anymore, and someone else is going to have to pick up the slack and do the rest. All good things, right? So anyway, on that note, I'm going to put this light away. I'm taking my kids out for dinner. Dean is off to work and I don't feel like cooking. So I'm taking my kiddos out for dinner, a little bit of a dinner treat before we step into the holiday mode, and I'm excited. And then I'll share more about what I'm doing for the holidays. One thing I always find myself talking about this time of year is nostalgia. When I think of Christmas, I think of Christmas has gone by. I already feel like the emotion just in my throat. But oh my gosh, I have the most vivid memories of Christmases of the past. One I'll share with you is my grandfather, so my maternal grandfather, my mom's dad. My grandpa was a character larger than life. I wish someone had written a book about him because I feel like he was a man of many secrets, but that's a story for another day. But anyway, his Christmas is like, there's a Christmas, and it was probably like one Christmas or maybe several in my very early years of life. Like, you know, when you start remembering things, 6, 7, 8, those years, I have memories of their Christmas tree. So I'm pretty sure it was a real Christmas tree, but it could have been a fake one. That's not the point. There was Christmas baubles and ornaments on the tree. And one of them, I have a cousin named Carrie-Ad. One of them, it's like they made them. So you know when it was like a Christmas ball, but it was half the ball. So think like vintage ornament from like, I don't know, the early 80s. She's a little older than me. And like her picture is in it. And then it's like, you know, it's like on the inside of this Christmas ball. I could like see it in my mind's eye. And the Christmas lights from that time are my favorite. None of this LED business, like probably dangerous as all get out if you one busted or caught the tree on fire. But they had like this beautiful vintage glow, the reds, the greens, the yellows, the gold, I guess. It was so warm. There was like big fat tinsel on the tree. It was not a tree that you would see like in a Martha Stewart magazine. It was like a tree that they pulled out of the basement and all the ornaments went with it. And it was just built in over the years, right? And my grandparents emigrated here from Cardiff, Wales. So they didn't have like extra family. It was just like the family they built. And so my mom has a few siblings, like how many? There's 4 of them. And they can all sing, like all of them have amazing voices, something about Welsh people. And so I have memories of them all singing loud, and they'd get a little rambunctious and drink a lot of drambuie. And my grandpa, oh my God. You know, we would leave like at some point to go home, and we'd be so sleepy and we'd be schlepping on our snowsuits and we'd be tired and like, but the feeling of like leaving the warmth bubble of the house and like looking back at the house, I remember, and like the screen door would like fog up and you could hear the party and the music just carrying on, and my mom and my dad, because this would have been my dad before my parents divorced, you know, putting us in the car and taking us home, me and my brother, and we love you, but she's trouble. She just constantly wants to roughhouse with a big dog. We know. She's just ready. Are you smiling? Maybe you guys can hit the damn road. I think I'm gonna kick them out. Silly dogs. The love and the warmth and just the Christmas joy, and it was really special, you know? It might not have been Christmas Eve. It might have been the day before or the day after. I don't know. I was like not old enough to remember. So that's a special memory. Christmas mornings were always really magical. My mom went all out. So another memory I have is like when my parents divorced, and then my mom remarried my stepdad. It might have even been before my sister was born. So in those early days, my parents had like a bit of a co-parenting dynamic, but what we would do, in hindsight, it's like not totally fair. And thank goodness times have changed. So families get like equal time with each other, but we would do Christmas Eve with my dad and my grandparents on my dad's side. And then we'd go home on Christmas Eve to be able to wake up for Christmas morning with my mom and my stepdad. I actually never really realized the unfairness of it all until this moment. So, oh man, the 90s were rough for people divorcing. Anyway, but Christmas Eve is still one of my favorite days. And I think it's because I spent all that time with my grandparents, and sometimes my aunt would come out with her husband. They would come out, and it was always such a treat to see my aunt because like we didn't see her enough. She lived in Toronto. Eventually my dad moved to Toronto too, and so it ended up, you know, being lovely, and they would come out together. But it was just so special, and like, oh, I can't help it. The memories and the love flow to my eyeballs, and just, I feel my feelings, you know. But I remember like the whole day my brother and I would be like, can we open our presents? Because there'd be a couple presents under the tree. And like over the course of the day, my grandparents, you know, would be wrapping presents. It was kind of a thing, like we wrapped presents over the day. It was, you know, my dad and my aunt would come to town with their presents, and then my grandma would like pull out this bin, and it had all the wrapping paper and all like to recycle, reuse, you know. They were very conscious of that. And so then we would like wrap our presents over the day, and, you know, like one of us would go into the bedroom and wrap the presents and then put them under the tree. And so over the day, like more and more presents would appear under the tree. And at their house, it wasn't a big, fantastic tree with all these ornaments. Often my grandma would just throw lights on like one of her giant plants. She had the most exquisite home. It was like something out of a magazine in terms of like I am not good with explaining decor, but there's a lot that was like very classical and traditional and clean, and just like natural colors and lots of beautiful greenery. And I loved it. Her home was like such a sanctuary for me. But she had this giant plant, so she'd put like white lights on it and sometimes a couple ornaments, but as we got older, not really. So over the course of the day, like all these presents would be filtering under the tree, and we'd be like, can we open presents? And my grandpa would be like, no, you have to wait till the baby, or no, what would he say? He'd be like, he would basically tell us lies to try to make us not ask so many times. He would say stuff like, shh, the baby's sleeping. And we'd be like, what baby is sleeping? And he would go hard with this baby sleeping nonsense. And Sean and I were like, what? My brother. And it was just like, just such good memories. I have memories. I always loved to run. This is kind of random, but I had like socks, you know, stockinged feet. And and their house was so clean, and they had wood floors, and I would run from one end of the house and just like slide in the kitchen on my socks. I don't know. I just loved being there with them. I've been listening to an incredible podcast, little interjection here, Anderson Cooper's podcast about grief. And so I suppose this time of year, I miss people. I didn't expect to get so emotional, but then again, I always do. But when they leave, it's like a lot of those traditions and things and moments kind of go with them, and then new ones take their place, right? So like what's kind of special is how, like, as mothers especially, we are the magic makers of our family, and we create new traditions. And so I notice, like, I have little traditions with my kids that we do. Like on Christmas Eve, we open one present, and we tend to bake something on Christmas Eve, and we listen to music, and we stay in cozy clothes, and we watch movies, and we wrap presents. And presents do not show up under the tree. Like right now there's like 3 or 4 because of Dean, but my presents, I do what my mom did, because this was very special, is I would wake up, so there'd be like nothing under the tree on Christmas Eve. And then when I would wake up in the morning, on Christmas morning, oh dear God, like, and we did not have a lot of money. So I don't know how she managed Christmas. I don't know if she went into a lot of debt at Christmas. I think it's probably that, but Christmas was so fun and magical, and she was really thought a lot about what she got us. And it's not like I ever made a list and got things on the list, really, but she, you know, she just put a lot of care into it and treasured that special morning. And so I know I do that with my kids. And then when it comes to like the extended family part, we have a tradition now where like my aunt and her kids come to our house just after Christmas, you know, either Boxing Day or the day after, like what we're doing this year, the 27th. And we do like the big meals and the snacking all day. And we play games and puzzles and go for walks and just like snuggle and laugh and like have those moments. And then, you know, at some point we go to see my family, my brother. Alexa, stop. Alexa, what song are you playing?
That was Take It to the Limit, 2013 remaster by Eagles.
What was that? That was so weird. Spotify just played a song. I have this thing lately. Call me kooky. But, you know, I have this connection. We're talking about people that have passed. I have this connection to birds. And also, I have this thing where, like, randomly lately, and I know I could be making something out of nothing, but you know when you just feel it? Random songs have been playing on my Spotify out of nowhere. And I'm like, what is this song? It just is like, is this a message from above? Is someone sending me a message right now? Like it's not like a recent song I've played. I haven't requested a song to play and then it'll play it. Take It to the Limit by the Eagles. What? Well, now I got to read what the lyrics are in that song. Anyway. There are so many things about Christmas that are not material that I just hold in my heart. You know, even memories with my mother-in-law, like she had such a different way of doing Christmas, but the baking and her emphasis on feeding her family delicious meals and, you know, prioritizing like cooking a beautiful meal in the day. Oh, my light might be done here. I actually use her recipes when I make my sugar cookies and when I make, you know, our hollandaise sauce. And she has like all these beautiful recipes that I like to access. Anyhow, it's such an emotionally charged time of year. And I think it's like in so many examples of life, you can feel two things at the same time. Like I feel the joy and the magic. And I also feel, oh, I'm just going to leave the light. And I feel the nostalgia and the ache of loss of people that I love that aren't here, but yet feel so real to me. Like I can access them and their memories and their essence, like in my mind and in my heart. And I feel a lot of gratitude for where I am right now and the things I can provide for my family. And I know that's not the case for everyone. And, you know, I don't really like say, hey, I did all this stuff and I feel great about it. But there is someone that I know that mothers often get overlooked this time of year, especially if you're a single mom. And there's someone special to me that I've purchased a little something for, and I know she's probably not watching this video, so it's fine. But you know, that I'm gonna pop over to her house all wrapped up and put under her tree. So she has something really special on Christmas morning, a surprise just for her. And I don't know, I just think like if you can do something, a small gesture for someone, I know we can't all go out and donate to charities and do all these things, but like maybe it's you bake cookies and you bring some to your elderly neighbor, or, you know, like I got a big box of chocolates and I'm gonna go and sit with Jack probably this week, but definitely on Christmas Day. And, you know, just sharing that love and spreading that love. I just think that is what this time of year means to me. And it's just such a beautiful thing to do if you can. And it makes you feel so good. So on that note, I want to wish you a very Merry Christmas. And if you don't celebrate Christmas, thanks for watching this video and walking down memory lane with me. And yeah, it's there's a lot of hardship going on around the world, and it is hard to carve out a little piece of joy despite all of that happening. But like I said, you can feel so many different things at once, and joy and heartbreak and gratitude and all these things, right? Grief and so many emotions all wrapped into one. So I wish you all the best. I thank you for watching this video, and I hope you have a calm and serene Christmas where you get moments to slow down and that you are loved and that you feel loved. So thank you for being here, and I wish you all the best. Bye.